Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hillary Live. I am your host, Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com. Right down there is my website. And I am a professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with that beautiful gift of your intuition. Because, yes, my friend, you have intuition. I believe everybody has intuition. So, on that note, tonight's episode is going to be a really, really fun one. If you've ever been wondering, what can I do to strengthen my intuition, to activate my intuition? This episode is for you. So, I want at the top of the episode you to chime in with where you're tuning in from. If you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, just let me know in that comment section. Just say hi, how you doing, Hillary? And let me know where you are tuning in from while I get my water or my Perrier Lime in this case. I've got my big ass bottle right here because I'm remembering to stay hydrated. And as always, you should make sure that you're drinking enough water and taking care of yourself, because when you are working with your intuition, it can be so easy to become ungrounded, to feel a little spacey, and drinking water and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and taking care of your body can help to really ground you and keep your feet firmly planted when you're doing this woo-woo psychic work. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my water, check out where people are tuning in from, and then we are going to dive into this topic. So good. Okay. So I'm realizing that I haven't updated my agenda. But let me go ahead and do that right now as people are tuning in. So as I'm typing this out, this episode is based on an article that I did for my website, again, tarotbyhillary.com with one L. And that article is called 5 Simple Steps to Activate Your Intuition. I might as well have said it psychic party tricks or psychic games, or let the psychic games begin, because that's exactly what that list is. It's not necessarily 5 simple steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in chronological order. No, what I did in that article is more list different psychic games that you can play to activate your intuition, to remind yourself that you have intuition, and to flex those intuitive muscles daily to be able to really ascertain what is your intuition or what is your fears or biases talking. So that really should have been the name of the article, is Let the Psychic Games Begin, because I'm going to be citing 5 different games that you can play in order to activate your intuition. Remember that you have intuition. If you're competitive or have a competitive streak or an overdeveloped competitive streak like me, triple Aries over here, you may want to play these games with your partner, with your friends, with your family, and get them all interested in psychic games, because when your intuition is strengthened and when everybody else's intuition is strengthened, we all rise up. Like, what's that saying? All boats rise with the tide. So oh, awesome. So Katie's saying, hi, Hillary, I've dragged a friend along. Awesome. Great. So in that case, you have another person to play these psychic games with if you so choose. Now, these games can be done individually while you're waiting for the elevator, while you're waiting for the light to change on a crosswalk, and some of them are more in depth than others. So Maisha is the friend she dragged along. Hi, welcome to the episode. Welcome to the vlog series, I guess it's called. So let me keep on updating here. And so this list is based upon a list that I've done previously on my blog, and I will go ahead and I will link that at the end of the episode because I don't want you guys to get that link and click away. I want you all to remain tuned into the episode. That is your reward at the end of the episode. Not only that, we will also do our weekend forecast for the weekend as usual. So you have to tune in to keep watching until the end of the episode. Otherwise, you're not going to get your weekend forecast. Okay? Okay. So let us talk about psychic games, because when you turn something into a game, you're gonna have more fun. You're gonna pay attention to that topic longer, and you're also going to retain that information longer than you would without it. A good example of this is why is Candy Crush and Best Fiends and a number of other apps or games so addictive. It's addictive because it's this thing called gamification. And even if you're not playing a game per se, like you would for Candy Crack, it might as well be called Candy Crack. Let's just be honest. I had to take that off of my phone and take that off of my tablet because otherwise I wasn't getting any work done. But here's the good thing about gamification. These concepts of playing games or what keeps you addicted to those games can then be applied to content, can be applied to learning, knowledge, classes. So for example, my signature online course, which is wrapping up tonight, believe it or not, it's another year has come and gone for the Tarot Intuitive. That course was created as part of a class that I was doing, that I was taking, called the Experience Product Masterclass. So that course is an experience product, and part of the experience product is gamification. So I made sure to create my course in such a way that it was bite-sized pieces and you feel like you're leveling up. Like you might be, my tarot students might think of themselves as level 50 now instead of level 0 or level 1, now that they've taken the course and gone all the way through and they're graduating tonight. But like, that's the power of gamification. So when you make things fun, when you see your progress, that's when you want to do more. That's when you want to level up to more. When you see that the stepping stones that you see when you're playing a game such as Candy Crush. So let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Give me a little heart emoji, or you can go ahead and do the whatever, the reactions, the heart reactions. But I like the emojis in the chat. I love seeing the little purple hearts or the pink hearts. But let me know if that makes sense to you. You got to make it fun for yourself. If you don't make it fun for yourself, you might as well move on to something else. So Michaela, we are going to be doing the weekend forecast at the end of the episode, okay? This is all about activating your intuition, all right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys about gamification, making it fun. So let us talk. So this is what we're talking about tonight. 5 simple steps to activate your intuition, because as I say at the top of every episode and at the bottom of every episode, everyone has intuition. That is my strong, long-held belief. Everyone has intuition. And sometimes it just is a matter of clearing out the gunk you know? Katie's doing the heart eyes emoji. Yeah, all right. Sometimes it is a matter of just clearing out the gunk and getting to our intuition because there are so many distractions around us. There's so many things that take our focus away. And sometimes that can obscure that small, still voice within that is our intuition, that is trying to help us every moment of every day. That's like back from when we were cave people outrunning saber or trying to outrun saber-toothed tigers. That's what intuition is for. It's for survival, but it's also there to help us thrive. But we can't listen to our intuition if we can't hear it first, if we can't clear out the way or clear out the cobwebs to be able to hear those messages. So that is the purpose for tonight's episode, 5 simple steps to activate your intuition. Because if you don't believe you have intuition already, then you're probably not watching this episode. You believe that you can access it, that it is there for the taking, but maybe you're having problems accessing it, but you believe that it is there because it is. So let's talk some psychic games, okay? And I actually brought one of them with me tonight. We'll get to that after I give you the list, okay? And then I would love to comment, and if you guys have any questions, by the way, as I'm speaking, as I'm talking, as you're watching, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me know what questions you might have about this topic, or if you're already thinking about some psychic games that you can play. So, again, this is from my article, 5 Simple Steps to Activate Your Intuition. You will get the link at the end of this episode, I promise. But the reason why I came up with these games is because I realized at the start of my tarot business, not necessarily the start, but when it really went through full throttle in September of 2011, which is when I launched my website, tarotbyhillary.com. I did a launch party special of 2-for-1 email readings. There was a lot. There were a lot of email readings that I did over that weekend. And I did about maybe 20 email readings over that weekend. So over 2 days. So 10 readings one day, 10 readings the next day. And it was awesome. It was a little bit overwhelming, but it was awesome. But I noticed an unusual side effect of doing so many tarot readings all in the span of one weekend. I started to get psychic messages without the tarot cards, as in I was not sitting at my reading table with the tarot spread in front of me. I was getting intuitive messages without the cards when I was going to the grocery store or interacting with my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, or sitting down to eat dinner. I was getting messages. I could not turn off the intuition. Good problem to have, but it is a problem. And I was also a little bit freaked out by that. I was spooked. It had never happened to me like this before. And so I asked a fellow tarot reading friend if she had experienced this. And when she said yes, I felt so relieved, because you have to know, even as a professional tarot reader, sometimes there are experiences where even I'm freaked out by what the cards have to say. Even I'm freaked out by how prescient my intuition is. So I'm used to being a little bit kooky, but I was happy to hear that I was not the only one experiencing psychic messages without the tool of the tarot. So since then, the messages that I've been getting without the tarot has led me to avoid traffic jams, keep from being blindsided by curveball situations, spoiled my boyfriend's plans to propose to me, not once, not twice, but 3 times, in hilarious anecdotes that I also have on my website, if you'd like to see that. I have the luxury of practice intuition because I do pull a tarot card every day for my card of the day practice, which I then put on social media. But if you don't happen to have a card of the day practice, or if tarot is not your particular divination method, um, these are psychic games that you can play to get your feelers out there and practice your intuition. So, and these games you can basically play without any tools, most of them, except for the fifth one that I'm going to tell you about. Okay. Everyone with me so far? Yes, exactly. So Katie's saying, so as a part of increasing our skills is also learning how to turn it off when it is up and wild, like you were describing. Yes, exactly. And I did describe this a little bit. Yeah. I I have talked about that in the past, in past episodes, especially when I was talking about three card spreads. And by the way, you can find all of those replays available on this Facebook page here, Hillary Perry Haggerty Tarot Reader, facebook.com/tarot by Hillary, just like my website, except without the .com. Um, all of the replays are available in the video section of this page, and also I have a bunch of them on my YouTube channel as well. I believe it's back youtube.com/Hillary Tarot. So on the three card spreads episode, I believe I talked about opening rituals and closing rituals when you're about to sit down with your divination tool. So you might want to go back to that episode to see what I said there, but I will cover that in two shakes of a lamb's tail. Yes, yes. Just so, and let me know if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Maisha. Yes, working on how to turn it off. A psychic dimmer switch, please. Yes, yes, we will talk about that. Yeah, I guess I'm putting you guys out on blast there, but I'm guilty of that as well. Sometimes you start to get messages and you get really excited about the messages that you're getting, and some of the messages aren't for you, they're for other people, and then you start chasing them down and it's just like, but I have a message for you. That I call psychic diarrhea, and you kind of see that on some psychic medium reality TV shows where that person's chasing people down and giving messages to people on the street. I call that psychic diarrhea. If I was meant to give a person that message, they would be sitting down with me for a reading. So I'm very like, boundaries are important, you know? So, and that whole thing about chasing someone down to deliver the message, that's making yourself feel better and not necessarily giving the message to someone. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it, but that's my opinion on that subject. So let's talk a little bit about the that. Yeah. Awesome. Great. I'm saying your name right. Let's talk a little bit about that for a second before we go into widening your intuitive gifts, right? Let's talk about turning it off. So, really briefly, and if you missed that episode, I think it's the three card spreads episode where I talk about opening rituals and closing rituals. But if you're having trouble turning it off, it could just be as simple as having a private conversation or a conversation in your mind with your guides, with spirit, with whoever you believe is giving you that intuitive message and saying, like, now is not the time. Or like, I hear you. I get it. I get that you're trying to make contact. It's not appropriate for me right now, or I am not in the reading space right now. If it's important, please come back to me when I am in my reading space, when I am open for business, as it were. So that's how I tend to structure my intuitive gifts and how I do a reading for someone else or even a reading for myself. Of course, I'm not wearing it right now because I'm not actually reading cards right now. But what I do is I have a psychic mala that is full of rainbow moonstone and labradorite and Amethyte, I think, which is a combination of amethyst and citrine, beautiful crystal. And I put on that mala to indicate, as a physical indicator, I am now working. This is my psychic time. And then when I am done with the reading, I drink some water. I make sure to take that mala off, get up, walk around, make myself some tea, and that I do like sub rituals, like sub closing to move myself between appointments. And then when I'm done for the day, I really like shut it down, take off my mala. And I'd also recommend, it's a spiritualist trick where you imagine your crown chakra as like this open trap door, and you then visualize yourself taking the rope and slamming down the hatch. And that tends to, like, I felt that just now, just doing that visualization tends to really root you back into your body and kind of close off that link, to be able to like be normal again, be switched off. So yes. So Maisha is saying, yes, don't force something they're not ready to receive, and they're often not ready to get it from a stranger. Yeah, exactly. Like that message will get to them at some point, maybe not from you, but they will get that message if it's strong enough to come through. And also, spirit communicates in different ways. And sometimes, even if they do get that message, they may need to get that message from several different sources, in order to really find meaning and internalize it. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes people are not ready to receive that information, and you're kind of like psychic diarrheaing on them. Again, that's why I say it, psychic diarrhea. Katie's saying those crystals would be super helpful and protective too. Yes. So I guess that's another topic for us, right? Talking about crystals and talking about crystals that help me in my psychic work. But rainbow moonstone, like, hi, you can see that. These are rainbow moonstone earrings. And then this is a labradorite. So I'm kind of locked in right now with my jewelry. But be warned, if you wear sometimes too much rainbow moonstone, you might feel a little bit like a space cadet. That's what I found out the hard way. So just a PSA there. So hopefully those tips help for people that are having trouble locking down, closing off, like turning the switch from on to off. But also then back to on again. So I call it like containers, to be able to contain that energy to do my best work, and then release that sacred container when I'm done with that work. Does that make sense to everyone? You can give me the heart emojis or what have you. So let's move on to the psychic games. So these are super, super fun games that you can do. There's no tools needed except for the fifth one. But let's go right into it. So the first one is, okay. The only tool you need is your surroundings. So if you happen to be in front of an elevator, say you have a bank of elevators, 2, 3, 4 in front of you. When at the bank of elevators, stand quietly, take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes if you need to, and then choose which door will open first. Now, try not to use your other senses when you're doing this, like straining to hear the machinery of the elevator to give you an auditory clue. Make your decision which elevator door is going to open, and then stand confidently in front of it. And then smile and wink at people when they look at you in awe of your crazy elevator psychic powers. I do this a number of times. As often as I am waiting for an elevator is when I do this particular game. And as always, with all of these games that I'm suggesting, you might get it wrong before you get it right at first, but with time and with practice, you'll end up being more right than wrong. So let me know if that elevator game is familiar to you guys. I'm sorry, I keep on looking down because I'm shedding everywhere. Let me know if that elevator game is something that you've ever played before. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. So this is for waiting for a train, a subway, train, um, Metro North, railroad train. Stand on the platform in a place that you believe the doors will open up directly in front of you. And wait for your train and see if you are right. I've gotten pretty good at that one too, especially when waiting for the Metro North train. Oftentimes, my husband will now follow me to wherever I'm standing and then stand beside me and just wait and then shrug his shoulders like, yeah, of course you're right, and then walk on the train with me. Um, so Maisha's asking, did those specific stones call you or did you pick them? And for some reason your picture's not coming up right now. I don't know why. And by the way, if you guys have any issues, like tech issues, if you can't hear me, if you can't see me, if the feed cuts out, please let me know in the chat right away so that I'm not talking for 20 minutes to dead air or you can't hear me. So those stones both called to me, and I also picked them as well. So rainbow moonstone traditionally is used for like psychic stuff, um, and being open to psychic energy. Labradorite for me is both psychic and grounding at the same time, which is why I Okay, I'm back. Yes, Mercury in retrograde strikes again. Can you guys hear me and see me? Yes? Please say yes. Sorry about the interruption. Let me see here. Ah, all right, let's see. You are gone. Yeah. It completely crashed out on me, but I'm so surprised that the stream didn't completely just go out. Not just, yep, not just you this time. Nope, that was me too. Yeah. Okay. So Maisha asked me about those specific stones. I don't know if you saw my little spiel about the blue labradorite versus the green labradorite. Just let me know. Yep, Facebook is being naughty. Let me scroll through this. Mercury retrograde. Yeah, let's talk about that shit, right? Don't worry. It's going direct on this Monday. So that's your answer right there. It's going direct on Monday and we can all live again, right? Um okay, Maisha's back. Missed the question. Okay. So what did you all right, so I'm going to quickly run back through. Yes, I chose them. Now I don't even know how many things I went through before I cut out. Um Bring Me Monday won't come back soon enough. All right. So really quickly, yes, I chose those stones intentionally, but also they chose me, they spoke to me. Rainbow Moonstone's really good for intuitive work, and Labradorite is really good for both intuitive work and being psychic, but also keeping yourself grounded while doing psychic work, which is the reason why I usually rock my Rainbow Moonstone and my Labradorite almost every day. So that's a quick synopsis. Can someone tell me where I left off on the list? Did you guys hear? Did you guys hear my last ones? What number were we on before I cut out? Because I just kept going and I did not see it cut out. Figures, right? All right, yeah, we were on Labradorite, but which game were we on? Did you hear me talk about? Because I was on number 4. All right. Let me cut this list out so I can actually monitor the chat at the same time. So were we on train door roulette? Were we on red car, blue car? Game number 2. All right. Yep. I definitely went on too far. Okay. So we were on game number 2, which was the train door roulette. Half heard 1. Okay. All right. I will go back through quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the elevator game, I'm pretty sure you guys heard all the way through. So you stand at a bank of elevators and you choose which door is going to open first and you stand in front of it confidently. And remember, you might not be right the first few times you're practicing, but you're practicing. So it's okay to be wrong. Like, this is not a life or death situation where your intuition is helping you, you know? This is just a fun little exercise to be able to get yourself into more of an intuitive mindset. So when you make your decision, stand confidently in front of it. You may be more wrong than right at first. So that's the elevator game. And I do this every single time I'm standing in front of an elevator. Train door roulette is when waiting for a train, subway train, railroad train, any kind of train. Stand on the platform in the place that you believe the train will pull up and the doors will open up directly in front of you. And then wait for your train and see if you are correct. And I've been more correct than not lately. And my husband will just stand there and beside me and be like, huh, and then walk right on. He's pretty used to my weirdness at this point. Um, so number 3 is red car, blue car, or any other color car. So if you're finding yourself outside waiting for a cab, for a friend, any reason, waiting for the light to change to cross the street, observe the flow of traffic and then try to guess which color car will be the next car to come around the corner or pass by in front of you. For an additional challenge, and this is after you get good at guessing the color of the car, try guessing the make or model of the next car as well as the color. Don't get advanced too quickly, though. Try out the color thing first. All right, everyone's still hearing me? Everyone's still with me? And let me put back up my psychic games. Please, everyone, still be with me. Please, no more whammies, Mercury in retrograde. I don't think I can handle it anymore. Because last week, the audio cut out, and I had to restart entirely. So if you all were there for last week's episode, you are troopers for hanging with me. Okay, still here, making notes. Okay. And Katie, you don't have to make a lot of notes because I do have an entire article on this and you will get the link by the end of this episode, I promise. So radio station DJ or witchy DJ or psychic DJ is the one that I play probably the most. I don't know why. I feel like I'm a musical witch. Oh, and Katie's saying I used to do the elevator game. Didn't know it was a game. It certainly is. You're testing your intuition by doing that. Sometimes guessing games aren't actually guessing games. They're intuitive building exercises in disguise, right? So radio station DJ is if you have have a song stuck in your head on a loop, or you happen to get a song stuck in your head, or like a piece of a lyric or whatever. It might be because you're sensitive to the radio waves in the air. And try and look through stations and scan through stations and see if that song is playing on one of the stations. This also can be a way to connect to loved ones that have passed, because I've noticed that they play with electronics and with music, send you songs to let you know that they're okay, that they're thinking of you, that they want to communicate with you. Remember, I'm not a medium, I'm a tarot reader, but I have gotten messages from spirit before through the cards. Usually I do recommend other mediums that are specifically mediums, because I don't consider myself a medium, in order for my clients to get the best reading possible. Sometimes they come to me and they want a mediumship reading, and I will always refer if I think it is more on the mediumship side than the tarot side, or what I can provide. But pay special attention if the song happens to be a common one to a loved one that has passed or a favorite of theirs. An example of this is my father passed away unexpectedly over 2 years ago, and he always sends "Call Me Al" by Paul Simon. And it's getting a little bit ridiculous at this point, and it hasn't just been me that's been experiencing that. So thank you, Dad. I hear you. Thank you. And it's not they don't really commonly play that on the radio, and it came up on the radio way more times than coincidence. So, this also might be applicable as well to the living. Often a song that makes me think of someone will get stuck in my head, or play on the radio, and then they'll contact me within 24 hours, or I'll end up contacting them, and they're just like, "Oh, I was just thinking about you." So that's radio station DJ. And then the fifth and final game is playing fortune teller yourself. So you can do this in almost a slumber party style. Yeah. Katie's saying he's calling you out. Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's true. Um, so you can play fortune teller in like a slumber party, Ouija board kind of style. Be reverent, but also be experimental. Um, but it works if you have brave souls willing to be read for, willing to read for each other and be open to the experience. And you can try different divination methods. Obviously, you guys know I'm a tarot reader. That's my main squeeze. But that's not to say that you can't check out runes or check out I Ching or check out crystal ball gazing. Whatever divination systems that have been particularly interesting to you or you wanted to try it out in a group, try it out with each other, and give readings to each other in a safe space. So you can try psychometry, like holding an item of the person's in your hand and try intuiting information from it. Tarot, of course. Other cartomancy systems like the Lenormand, angel cards, oracle cards. Tonight's weekend forecast is going to be from a new oracle deck that I just received. Stay tuned. Palmistry, tea leaf reading. You need not have prior knowledge, just an open mind and a willingness to play. You can draw pictures. You can have the other person draw what they think you drew, and vice versa. Like both have like a sketch pad in front of you and like draw things and take turns trying to intuit what that other person drew. And there are more ideas that you can get from Cassandra's Psychic Party Games by Cassandra Eason. Again, you don't need to write this down. I do have the article for you guys to peruse at your leisure after the episode. So as with anything, practice, practice, practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall. The more you do these simple and fun exercises, the more you will feel your intuition igniting. Yes, you're going to be wrong at first, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. But with practice, you will get more accurate hits. And you're also going to notice the triggers in your body that tell you, yes, this is correct. And I do have more recommendations for articles. And always do readings. Don't be afraid to say what you see, even if you don't understand it. Always with permission of the person you are reading for. No psychic diarrhea, my friends, right? Don't be afraid to make mistakes on the road to learning how your intuition speaks to you. So in that vein, that fifth game, playing fortune teller, I have a little bit of a surprise here. So this is one of the ways that scientists determined ESP experiments, or did ESP experiments, aka extrasensory perception. So I'm going to full screen this. Okay. Oh, here we go. Hold on one second before I get there here. You've just reminded me that I went to a high tea party and we all had fun trying to read each other's cups afterwards. Awesome. So that's tasseomancy, aka tea leaf reading. It ended up feeling like a little circle of energy whilst we read for each other. That is sacred space, my friend. That is like a psychic witchy circle there. That's awesome. I love to hear that. So I've tried my hand at tea leaf reading before. I don't know if it's necessarily for me. It is an exercise in patience. Let's just put it that way. And I feel it's almost similar in divination systems to crystal ball gazing, which I have tried my hand at, and I do have a crystal ball that I got from Reader's Studio. Heather Lee Navarre, who runs the Boston Tea Room in Detroit, Michigan. She taught us how to do crystal ball gazing. Give me 1 second. I'll show you my crystal ball. But it's been a while since I used it. I think I really only used it in that class. But this is my crystal ball. Let's see if I can hold it up to the side so you guys can see it. So that's my crystal ball. Her name is Star, and she has a lot of occlusions. And so the reason why you want occlusions is so that you could see more stuff. Now, this was interesting to me because I didn't understand. I thought your crystal ball had to be completely clear, and apparently, there's a lot of different opinions about that. But the way I was taught, you want more occlusions so you can see more things. And I really don't want to drop this right now, so let me try and not do that. But let me turn on this selfie light, courtesy of the Prepared Performer, just to show you the occlusions. So that's my crystal ball there. But crystal ball gazing, as well as tasseomancy, aka tea leaf reading, can be an exercise in patience and is almost like a meditative practice, where you have to get to a meditative state and then allow the impressions to arise out of the crystal ball. Now, that's not coming from me, that is coming from Heather Lee. So thank you, Heather Lee, for teaching me. So if you are not naturally a patient person, it might be a harder divination system for you to try out. So, and that's me speaking. So I'm not accusing anybody else of being impatient. That's me calling myself impatient. So, thank you for sharing that, Katie. That's really awesome. So there's nothing stopping you from doing that. But what I wanted to say is, so there are specific tools that the, I guess, scientific, or I guess pseudoscientific community used to test extrasensory perception, aka psychic senses, intuition, ESP for short. And one of the things that they used was Zehner cards, and I think they're called Rhine cards or Rhine Zehner cards, or ESP cards. And I just, here, I've got the information here. Okay. All right. So I just uncovered when I was cleaning up that I do have a version of Zehner cards, aka Rhine cards, from Gidget London, who designed these like stick figure cards, like stick figure Lenormand, stick figure tarot, I think, and also these cards. So let me give a little bit of the description here. And you don't feel like you have to go out and purchase one of these. You can easily make this a set of these cards yourself, using like index cards, pieces of paper with these symbols written on it. So difficulty, so it's I think these are 25 cards, because you want to be able, 25 cards in a pack. So these are called Stick Peeps Fancy Zehner cards, 25 cards in a pack. So you'd want to have 25 index cards and have 5 symbols, 5 cards of each of the symbols that I'm going to describe here. So 5 symbols: a star, a square, a circle, a plus sign, and 3 wavy lines. And then you would want to have 5 cards of each symbol for a total of 25. So this is the reason why they're used for testing. Hold on one second. Let me make sure that I'm still recording. Am I still recording? Are you all still here with me? Please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to be very, very annoyed if I've lost you guys again. Are you with me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? This is not a Sprint commercial, but can you hear me now? Yes, all here. Oh boy, though, I'm seeing some of the icons not coming up. which is making me nervous that this is going to cut out again. If it cuts out again, I'm done with the episode. And all right. So Zener cards are cards used to conduct experiments for extrasensory perception, aka ESP, most often clairvoyance because of the visual symbols. Perceptual psychologist Carl Zener, 1903 to 1964, designed the cards in the early 1930s for experiments conducted with his colleague, parapsychologist J.B. Rhine, 1895 to 1980. So, yeah, so Maisha's saying, yep, haven't seen those cards in a long time. Yeah, exactly. And you can create your own. You don't have to go out and get a deck. So you can do this 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 to 3 players, but you can play with more people. And then you shuffle out the cards and then you lay them in rows of 5 and meditate and guess each card one at a time in order. So sometimes you can do it and then it has like examples of number guesses and correct hits. Try performing this test at different times of the day to see if time seems to make a difference. Like sometimes people are morning people, night people, or more sensitive in the evenings versus the morning via the afternoon or after lunch. Try variables such as just after eating, just after awaking from sleep, for example, to see if there's a difference in the results. And if you guys are familiar with the Cate Blanchett movie, The Gift, she uses these cards as a way of intuiting or giving readings. And that's like my one complaint about that particular movie. Everything else that like her visions and everything is one of the more accurate ways psychics are portrayed in Hollywood, I think, except for using those Rhine cards to intuit stuff. I've never seen it laid out like a tarot spread. So still with me? And if you guys have seen the movie The Gift, let me know. Because I'm starting to see icons not loading and I'm afraid it's going to go off again and I'm going to be really, really pissed off. So let me know because I'm going to show you right now what I'm seeing. See? I'm not seeing any images, which makes me get a little bit nervous that we're going to cut out again. Just let me know. I have a feeling I'm out again. Oh yeah, here we go. Because I can't, it doesn't look like I can type into the chat, so I'm going to have to give the article after, like really after the episode, but you can find it in the comment section. So Katie's saying, yes, I love The Gift, but I did find the usage of the cards. Yeah. I've never seen that before. So you can either lay them out and then do your guesses yourself, or you can do, so I'm going to shuffle these up. Yeah. So Katie's saying weird too. I thought that maybe she was using them as a meditative tool. And I mean, that's possible, but I've only seen these cards really in relationship to what I just described, using it to test or quantify in some way psychic phenomenon or ESP, mostly clairvoyance. So I'm going to quickly do a little test. So you know what the symbols are, right? So the symbols are, again, star, square, circle, plus, or waves. So are you ready? Let's do 5. And then I'm going to do the weekend forecast. And then I'm going to let you guys go because I don't want this to cut out again. Ready? Okay. Actually, let me hold it down here so you're not seeing the reflection on my glasses. All right. What symbol is it? Do 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 do. See, this is the interactive portion of the evening. I'm looking down at it at the same time that you guys are intuiting. So I'm sending it out as you're trying to receive it. Okay, so Dina's saying square. Katie's saying cross. And Maisha's saying star. Any other guesses? Is that it? Okay. Maisha was right. It's star. Okay. Want to do another one? All right. Let's see. Okay. One more. What is it? I wanted to do 5, but let's just do a couple. I know, Maisha was right on the first one. Do 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 do. Yeah, you got it on the first try. All right, which one's this one? Because I do have a note before we move on to the weekend forecast about ESP cards. So Dina says plus. Katie says circle. Maisha's flustered now from her win on the first one. Waves. Okay. Any other guesses? All right. Katie got it right. Circle. So this is another fun game that you can play as part of that 5th game, Play Fortune Teller. You can use different divination systems and give readings, or you can do the game that is the games that are included in Cassandra's Psychic Party games. Again, I will give you the link to the article in order to like test all of that out, right? But I want to give you a special note for anyone that didn't get it right. I know it seems a little bit frustrating or whatever, but they had so like here, there's an example number of guesses and correct hits, so like 25 guesses and 1 hit. Awesome hits would be 2 or more out of 25. Out of 100 guesses, 28 would be a hit. Awesome hits would be 32 or more. And out of 200 guesses, 52 hits or 57 or more would be awesome hits. Like the hits would be you're tuned in okay, and awesome hits are like you're so psychic. But there is also something else that's going on when they test doing the ESP stuff. There is the probabilities of getting it right just by coincidence or number of guesses, and the probability of getting it wrong. I don't know the scientific terminology. It's been a while since I read up on ESP testing. This is something that I researched by myself, like when I was a 14-year-old, going to the library and checking out all of these books on extrasensory perception after reading Lois Duncan's A Gift of Magic. So Katie's saying, now you know why I brought and invited you along. All right. Dina's saying, I did better with tarot this week. Good. This is the reason. So I'm speaking from my personal experience. When I started to work with these cards, with Rhine card, Zener cards, my percentages were so low that they were a statistical anomaly as well. So there is such a thing, and this is the reason why I'm saying it. There is such a thing as being super, super psychic and also super, super psychic, but in the other direction. Like the amount of guesses that I got wrong also indicated something else was going on besides just coincidence. Like I was statistically getting these more wrong than I should have been. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, kick that Mercury RX out of the door. All right. So I hope you enjoyed those psychic games. I know it seems a little bit silly, but we got to have fun with it. We've got to have fun activating our intuition so that we can have it work for us in times of trouble as well. So, yeah. Yeah. So Katie's saying, so wrong, you were super wrong. Exactly. Maisha's saying, yeah, I'm all over the place. LOL. Oh, hi, Suri. Good to see you here. Okay. So let's move on to the weekend forecast before this craps out again. So let me pull that up. And let me pull this up and this up. So we are into the weekend forecast. I have already pre-pulled the weekend forecast for you guys from my new to me oracle, the Starseed Oracle, from Rebecca Campbell and Daniel Noel. Oh, I love you too, Zuri. So they have already come out with an oracle deck called Work Your Light, the Work Your Light oracle deck. But this is their second collaboration of an oracle deck together. And it has a very different box. Look at that. Look at the triangle and everything. Gorgeous. And Hay House was having a sale on all of their decks. So I had to pick up something. So I got the Miracles Now, I guess, Oracle deck by Gabby Bernstein. And I also got this one. So I'm very excited about it. All right, so let's get into the weekend forecast. I've already pre-pulled, like I said, and I already have the placeholder here. So this weekend, we got the Karmic Relationships card. Now, this is the first card that I'm pulling out of this new deck here. So it's Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. So, and I'm going to read right from the companion book here. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who are part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind to see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We're all looking to be seen, understood, and cherished, and it's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. But that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally, It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through conflict. So, which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? And how are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? Ay, chihuahua. That is a deep weekend forecast for us this weekend from the Starseed Oracle. Beautiful card, right? Kind of a oofty message for us this weekend. Also, coming on the heels of receiving the tarot card of the Two of Cups reversed as today's card of the day, which means like you're not on the same page as someone, especially in a partnership situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, it can also be a business partner or a friendship. But I guess with the Two of Cups coming up reversed today and this card coming up for us about karmic relationships this weekend, we might really need to think about why our relationships exist, who we're in relationship with, and are we in right relationship with them? Are we giving more than we're taking? Are we taking more than we're giving? Wow. All right. So that is your weekend forecast from me to you. Thank you all for rolling with the punches of Mercury in retrograde. I promise it'll be over soon. It goes direct on Monday. We're all going to be okay, folks. And let me just pull back up all of my stuff here. Just as a reminder, we do this every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my Facebook page, Facebook Live, facebook.com/tarot by Hillary. I am available for your reading delegation. I am a professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with your intuition, as exemplified by this wonderful episode, all about putting you in touch with your intuition. And you can find me right there on my website if you would like to book a reading with me. I'm available Skype, phone, email, and in-person readings. Yeah, Katie's saying I was going to say it's a continuation of the day card too. Long weekend of it. All right, so remember, folks, be kind, be compassionate, especially in your relationships this weekend. We're all trying to do the best we can, and we all, despite what our despite what we want to say, I think we're all trying to do the best we can most of the time. So be kind, love each other. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go celebrate with my tarot intuitive students. Their graduation is tonight. Oh, and by the way, the first week in April is my card a day challenge. 5 days of tarot instructions straight to your email inbox and putting you on the path to a card of the day practice, which is my number one way of really getting to your tarot mastery skills. So if you're interested in that, I have information about that on my website again, right down below. Please go ahead and sign up. And I'd love to see you in that classroom. It's a birthday gift for me, but it's also a birthday gift for my birthday, in honor of my birthday, for you guys. So I will pass that on, Katie. Thank you. Congrats to my students. They did so well. Yeah. So have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week. If you have any suggestions for topics for future episodes, please feel free to contact me. Let me know what you want to see here. I guess we have to talk about crystals maybe next time, huh? All right. Dina says it took three witches to get me through today. Where's my witches at, right? This always happens during Mercury in retrograde. Anyone that's even like the slightest bit in tune with it is just like, what the hell is going on? And I'm just like, Mercury's in retrograde. So my birthday's not until next month. But it's at the beginning of the month. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Yay, crystals. Yay. It's taking a while to shut down too. Let me see if you can still see me. Oh, Mercury's in retrograde, and I'm just seeing the stop sign, beach ball. If you can still see me, put an emoji. Yep, you can still see me. Oh my goodness. Just when I want it, yeah, something went wrong. Something sure did. Okay. Let me see if I can refresh this and stop the recording. All right. Reload site. I invoked Mercury in retrograde way too many times this episode. This is what's happening right now. Literally, the emojis are not loading. Your little profile pictures aren't loading. I clicked end feed. That's not working. It's super fun, guys. I have my dinner waiting for me that I was going to eat in between. Now, all right, I'm back again, and hopefully it's going to work this time. So Zuri's saying, all right, Astro alert here. It's in Aquarius, so tech issues for sure. Great. Thanks, Mercury in retrograde. All right, let's try this one more time because now I'm seeing all of your icons popping up. So, all right, good night. Have a good weekend for real this time.